Good morning and welcome to Mind Tripping with Michelle. My name is Michelle Melio and I'll be your host for the next half hour. And this is the show where we will discuss how you can shift and change the energy in your body and the energetic vibration around you, as well as your thoughts to create what you want in life. Today is Wednesday, November 6th, I believe. Let's see. I'll check that date for you. November 5th. Oh my goodness. The time is flying by. Here we are getting ready for the holiday season. And what I'd like to discuss with you today, please excuse today's show. We're kind of on the cuff. We're on the fly today. We had some technical difficulties over the last couple of weeks. So today is our test broadcast to test the system. If you are having trouble hearing me, obviously, I don't know if this phrase is going to help you at all. This what I'm about to say. If you can't hear me, visit the Google Plus page and go ahead and send me a message. Usually, and from now on, I will be logged into my Blog Talk radio show so that we can take callers live on the air. And of course, that will start next week. So let's get to today's topic, shall we? Today we're going to talk about how to communicate effectively to people in your life so that you can improve your relationships and you can kind of control the conversation so that you can get what you want out of life. Now, when I say control the conversation and get what you want out of life, this is not in a manipulative way. So the techniques that I'm going to talk with you about today are called NLP techniques, and otherwise known as neuro-linguistic programming. A lot of people get frightened with the word programming. You're going to program my mind. And the truth of the matter is it's really just effective communication. It's how to communicate effectively with those you love. And it is especially helpful for salespeople that are wanting to help their clients or their customers to get what they really truly want, and to help be able to read them so that they can move them in the right direction towards a happy purchase. So if a sales rep was going to use neuro-linguistic programming against a customer, for example, or use it to manipulate the sale, what would happen is the customer would walk away with some sort of buyer's remorse. They would wonder why they purchased it to begin with. And since there are rules set in place that give us 30 days to return an item, it doesn't really benefit that salesperson to use that information against a person or just to push a sale. So in most cases, and I do not speak for all of the sales force throughout the world, but in most situations, sales reps that have been trained in this neuro-linguistic programming are using these techniques to help read the customer and point them in the perfect direction so that they are making a happy purchase that they will live with for a long time and have joy and feel like they really got what they wanted. So that's an important phrase. Neuro-linguistic programming can help you help whoever you're communicating with get what they want as well. And in these times, it can be quite difficult to communicate with people. And I know I've said this before, but I'd like to just talk with you about how our human psyche works and how we think. So what ends up happening is we have this inner dialogue, and inside of me, behind my face here, there is a dialogue going on. There is a little man behind the machine, so to speak, that is looking out through my eyes, and this is my screen to the world and how I see and view the world. What I hear, what I see, what I experience, and the decisions and the choices that I make are based on what I see outwardly behind the screen. So we all see things differently from behind the screen, and we all communicate differently. Learning how a person communicates with you can really, truly help you communicate effectively with them. And what I mean by that, let's just use a relationship, for example. Couples fight. Of course, couples have disagreements, and it can be challenging sometimes to bring that disagreement back to balance when it's gotten and spiraled out of control. A husband may say to a wife, this house is always a mess. And if he's saying that to a wife who her inner dialogue is mostly from a feeling perspective or from a hearing perspective, she doesn't actually see a house that's a mess. She hears all the chatter. She hears all the complaining. You're always complaining. You're always complaining. You're always complaining. So this can cause miscommunications. One way around that is to learn who you are having conversations with. Look at that person. Look at that person in the eye. Listen to how they are speaking to you. If somebody is telling you, do you understand what I'm saying? Do you get me? I'm not really feeling this. I'm not really feeling this situation. That person just doesn't feel right to me. My gut tells me this. That's a person that feels things, okay? So if you're trying to have a conversation with a person that feels things behind their inner wall, remember, we're talking about what goes on behind that screen and how we view it. If you're talking to somebody who's mainly feeling things and you're telling them, can you see that? And you're trying to show them visually so that they understand what you're saying, you might as well be speaking Japanese to an American that's just learning English. So you'll want to talk their language. Imagine what it would be like to feel it. Or you can even just use words. You can explain it the way that you would like to explain things and use words like, how does that feel to you? Does that make sense to you? Because feelers will also want things to make sense. If you are communicating with somebody who is very visual, they're going to say things like, do you see what I mean? I don't see that. I can't see that happening. They're a very visual person. They're going to use words that describe them seeing something visually. They're going to notice bright, vivid colors. They're going to notice the beauty of something. So by pointing out the beauty of something, you can actually effectively communicate with them. And that's somebody who behind their screen sees and experiences their world on a visual level. And then we have our audio people, and our audio people are going to hear things, you don't listen to me, or do you hear me? Can you hear what I'm saying? Is anybody even listening? Audio people will touch their ear a lot when they would like to speak. So keep an eye out for that. If you're in a group of people talking and there's somebody that hasn't really spoken yet, or they're tugging on their ear, they are waiting for their turn to be able to speak. So they're very audio, and those can help you communicate. Let's go back to that husband and wife team having that argument about maybe the house always being the mess. And the house isn't really always the mess, but the visual husband is going to see any little thing. He's very visual. When he walks in the door, he sees everything, even if it's just one tiny little area that did not get dusted, or something on the table that's out of place. It's going to really bother a visual person to experience that, especially when they come home from a long day or a bad day at work. One thing that the feeling wife could do to help that so that it doesn't escalate is to speak to that husband in words that he understands. First of all, it could be just really understanding how he views his world from behind his screen, and maybe just taking that extra time to pick up those little things, because even though they don't get in our way and they don't really bother us much because you're a feeler, the person that you love and care about and lives with you, it does bother them. So we could maybe make sure that those little extras were done. And when we're having conversations, what you'll want to do is you'll want to point out visually what has been done. As you can see, I, had a really busy day today, but I did take the time out to, clean out this, or to make this look pretty. And what do you think about that? It changes the whole conversation, and it kind of moves it in a direction where you really want it to go, which is open communication. Things like, the house not really being up to par isn't really something that a feeling wife is going to want to talk about. Her feelings are hurt. You didn't notice the things that I did. For that husband, I will tell you that the best way to respond to that is to understand that your wife or the feeler in the relationship is really they are, it's not just emotionally based, okay? It is it's more of a sensing things, okay? So they're actually reading everything around them. If a house feels warm and comfy and cozy and like there's love in that house, that's going to be a comfortable home, even if there's a little bit of a mess. So a person with a feeling personality or with behind that screen feels their way or senses their way around things is going to base how their house looks on how it feels to them, the comfort that is there. So providing, a warm, comfortable environment or conversation can help that conversation go smoothly. How do we tell if people aren't using these trigger words to communicate with us? Well, we can also tell by, as you noticed before I spoke, I kind of looked up here. I'm a very visual person. Visual people are going to look up before they answer a question. And they're going to think, when they think about it and when they're processing, getting ready to speak with you, they are going to look up in the air. When they look up in the air, that tells you right off, you're visual. You're visualizing what you're going to say to me. A person who's audio or is hearing based and based on sounds is going to look to the side, okay? So, and it might just be really quick. They might just go doot doot side. And for those of you who are just listening in, I kind of pointed my eyes from ear to ear. And those are people that are going to be audio, and the ones that are feelers are actually going to look down, and then they're going to speak. And those are the ones that are internalizing how that feels to them. Okay. Next time you go to a restaurant, I challenge you. I learned this from my NLP trainer, and I think it's an amazing thing to do, to experience the power of NLP in action. Next time you are at a restaurant or you are in line at one of the fast food restaurants or at a coffee shop, and the person in front of you is looking up at the menu board, you will notice that if they haven't decided what they would like, they're looking up at the menu board, and they may be looking down real quick and then looking up. And what they're doing is they're seeing, they're feeling how that might taste. Okay. So just a little thing to look out for when you're out and about. I really wish that I had my Blog Talk Radio on today so that I could take callers and any questions. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw my spectacles on, my reading glasses. I've been asked to take them off when I'm speaking because of the reflection. So again, I'm still working on contacts someday. So let's see. Do we have any questions? We are live now on the air, and I'm just going to go to my page. I'm a busy lady here. So I'm just going to check out my my Google Plus page and see if there are any questions that have been typed out that anyone would like to ask. And we do not have any questions right now that I can see, but please feel free to post them on the wall if you would like, and I will do my best to address them. So how do we communicate effectively to get what we want? When we're on job interviews, when we're working as a sales rep, I am an independent contractor. I also own my own business. So when we're having conversations with people about what we do, we want to make sure that we're really speaking in their language. It makes sense to us, our inner dialogue, what we're attempting to express makes sense to us because we have reviewed it behind that screen. So the important thing to keep in mind is that when we are communicating, it's really all about how the other person responds to what we are attempting to communicate. So why would we waste the time communicating it in the way that we already know it to be? Because we already understand it. So pay close attention to how that person that you are trying to communicate with, or people, views their world, and make sure that you mix it up a little bit and try it out and see if it makes a little bit difference. Do you see what I mean? Do you hear what I'm saying? Do you understand? How does that feel to you? Huh? Pretty much covered everybody just by asking that question. Another thing that you can do, especially if you're in person with someone, is almost mirror their body language. Okay. And what this does is, we as human beings are naturally pack animals. We naturally run with the pack, and we want to be like others. What we do is um, we tend to mirror what others are experiencing in their life. We tend to mirror each other, especially those that we really feel comfortable with and feel a connection with. So when we're mirroring somebody who's had a bad day, a lot of times I'll hear people say, I'm, very sensitive to that. If somebody's having a bad day, this person's always having a bad day. They're always sad. They're always, and I just feel awful after I've been around them. You're probably working your communication skills. Probably, first of all, you are an empath, and you're probably feeling things, and most likely you're a feeler. Secondly, you probably are viewing what they are expressing to you and internalizing it, turning it in behind your screen, and allowing it to create a bad day for you. A way that you can turn that around is you can almost mirror what they're doing, and maybe even their facial expression. Let's say that you came across somebody who's just really pouting and really sad and having a bad day. Their shoulders are probably down. Their speech is probably like this. They may have their eyes may be closed a little bit, and they're definitely very sad. And what you could do is you could come up to that person, and I'm just going to watch myself in the screen here and just give you an idea of what you can do. So you can actually come up to the person and you can say, "Oh, hi, Mary. You having a bad day today? I'm so sorry." Excuse me, the cough is not included in that. You can, from there, just give me 1 second, please. Hi, Mary. I see you're not having a very good day today. I'm so sorry to hear that. But notice how I kind of sit up and put my shoulders up. I have something wonderful that I'd like to share with you. This is going to pass for you, or you could share some really good news. I just got some really good news, and I know that's like bad of me to maybe want to be sharing it with you, but I think that maybe it will help you feel better, and that's what I want. I really want you to feel better. And as I reach out my hand, I'm probably touching them on the shoulder and noticing that what will happen is they will see that you are mirroring them. And then as you change and shift your energy, they will change and shift with you. Just think of something positive to talk about. You can even mention that, it's a really beautiful day outside, and I really was hoping to have some company for lunch, something nice like that. But the most important thing is to mirror them, but pull them out of it, pull yourself out of it. And what happens is, whether they follow suit or not, you walk away with a happy, positive attitude for your day, and you haven't actually picked up their junk. Pretty neat, huh? Try those techniques out. Try speaking in other people's language. Try mirroring and see how that works, and pay close attention when you're out at the restaurants to how people are analyzing their food purchase before they make it. We're just at the bottom half of the half hour. So what I'd like to share with you is the reason that I'm talking with you today about NLP is very exciting, is that I am also a neuro-linguistic programming trainer, which means that I can train others in how to effectively communicate. how to build relationships and heal relationships by communicating with each other effectively. I can also help you if you are a leader in the industry or a spiritual leader and you'd like to take your business to the next level and become a professional neuro-linguistic technique practitioner, which is called an NLP practitioner, and or go to the next level and become a master practitioner or even a trainer someday to train other people. And what I have coming up next week in Las Vegas, Nevada, is an NLP practitioner certification program. So if you are in the area and you would like to come, the class is priced extremely reasonable for, especially for a Las Vegas class. I have it priced at $699, and that includes your 3 days of training. It also includes your meals for the 3 days. If you are just outside of Las Vegas, Nevada, I believe that there are some cities in California where it's only a 2 or 3 hour drive, as well as Arizona. And of course, if you're in Nevada, I welcome you to pop over and come and visit. I will be doing a drawing for the I do have a room, and it's not just a hotel room, it's actually a resort that I will be giving away free for one lucky participant in the class. So if you would like to learn more about that, go on ahead and visit my NLP website, which is nlp.mindtripproductions.com. Or you can contact me directly and say, hey, Michelle, I'm really interested in learning more about that class. I have online classes available via Skype. I have in-person classes throughout Florida, and the Las Vegas class, if it goes well, we will be teaching it again on a yearly basis. And I hope to travel around. So I can even do one-on-one. Of course, the price is a little bit different. But it's really important to communicate. If you were able to communicate effectively with anyone that you chose and be able to really, truly get across the point that you were attempting to make, wouldn't it be worth it to, if it just meant really shifting the way you communicate with others? Think of the things that you could begin to attract in your life, not only effective communication and happy relationships, but you could also control the outcome of job applications, of reaching out to people, connecting with those that are in line with the teaching that you are providing. So there are so many things that you can do with that. And I just want to introduce NLP to you. I am going to only have a 25-minute show today. So think about it. Please feel free to reach out to me and let me know if there is anything that I can do to help you out. As always, to learn more about me, you can visit me on the web at michellemelioonline.com. That's MICHELLEMELIONLINE.com. And I would love to hear from you, and I'd love to hear your responses. So I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful, amazing Wednesday. Please feel free to tune in next Wednesday when we will be all of the challenges with the broadcast, the new broadcast will have been ironed out. And we will also be live on Blog Talk Radio. We will be taking calls, and we have so much more in store for you. So tune in next week. And until then, I hope that you have a wonderful, blessed week. Thank you so much for watching. Namaste. And be well.